Knicks fans, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And the New York Knicks are officially, it's been official for a long time, but we are the worst team in the league. We just lost to the Phoenix Suns, who are equally as bad. I can't say worse than us, but, you know, they're equally as bad. We just lost to them. And I would say pretty handily as well. That's one thing. We lost to them pretty handily tonight. You know? It is what it is, folks. That's the New York Knicks for you. That's today's New York Knicks. Hopefully not tomorrow's New York Knicks. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. Get a notification anytime that I go live. Hit me with a thumbs up. Share it on all your social media right now. Go ahead and share it out. Give it to everyone. Let's get popping. We back. And we got Nate in the chat right now. So far, that's all we got in the chat. So we're going to bring Nate over. We're going to talk a little bit. See what Nate thought about the game. We are officially the worst team in the league. You know, in the Zion Bowl, the race to the bottom. That's basically what this was. Listen, you know what? For a lot of people are very happy because they were afraid that the Knicks were going to win this game, right? A lot of people thought that, you know, with the Knicks losing to the Clippers and losing to Sacramento, that we were going to come back and this would be the game that we won on this West Coast trip. But it didn't happen. So now we're 0-3 for the month of March. I believe that's correct. Which is not going to be, hey, the month of March is going to be, well, we already know it's a challenging month. Challenging month for the New York Knicks. We come back home next week. Got a couple of games home next week. We're going to look through the schedule and see if there's a win in there someplace. You know what I mean? See if there's a win in there someplace. But let's talk about the game a little bit. Bring my man Nate over. And then we're going to, you know, we're just going to go ahead and get into it. Nate.
What's up, man?
Poppin', man? What's good? What's good with you? How you been?
I've been all right, man. Been all right. Like I said, I just started this water diet thing. So, you know, I'm getting a little antsy. Probably sleeping a little bit more because my body's just like deprived of any kind of sugar or anything like that.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Yeah, that can be challenging, man. Like I was telling Nate before we came on. Back, I don't know. A while ago, probably 5 years ago. I did this diet. I don't know if I read it someplace or if I just kind of created it myself. But, you know, I kept my calories and sugars to a limit, right? And on Mondays, it was an all-liquid diet, all liquid, right? So in the mornings, I would have a smoothie or a V8 or something like that. In the afternoon, I'd have some kind of soup. Right, to try to add a little bit more substance to my diet. In between, you know, this was one day I would drink juices because the other days I wouldn't drink any kind of juice, any kind of soda, anything like that. But this is one day I would drink juices, right, to make sure that I got my calories. And then for dinner, I'd have some kind of either soup or chicken broth, so I had tasted something, right, and you know, smoothies and stuff like that. Then Tuesdays, I'm gonna tell you what, I was so happy for Tuesday to come. You know, it was just,
It was like Christmas.
Yes, it was. But this was the thing, though, Nate. This was the thing. While I did watch my calorie intake, I wasn't like, I still ate any kind of food that I wanted to eat. Mm-hmm. Right? I just ate it up to the amount of calories that I could take.
Yeah,
And then
he ate in moderation.
Right, and then I was selective of what I was going to eat. So I would look at the calories and say, I can't have this cake because it's got this many calories, and I want to eat this or that. So I would still eat cake or sweets, but I would eat whatever I wanted to eat, but I only took in so many calories. And then I cut out juices, sodas, and all I drank with all of my meals was water. Right? Because a lot of people don't realize, when you drink your meal and you have juice or you have Gatorade or you have soda with it, I mean, like, there's mad calories, because when you have soda, what happens? You don't just drink 1 cup of soda. You go back and you get like 3, 4, 5 cups of soda, right?
Or you get like a big old cup.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A big old cup, and you drink all that soda, and you bring it in a cup like that, and it's mad calories in that soda, or juice, or tea, or whatever it is. So all I would do is drink water, which saved a lot of calories that I could use for food. And then on those Mondays, it was all liquid. And I lost 20 pounds. Like, I did it for about 3 months, but I lost 20 pounds in like a month.
That's what I'm trying to do.
You know what I mean? In like a month. But then, I kept doing it. Then I raised my calorie intake, and I kept doing it. The Mondays kind of cleaned out my toxins and stuff like that. It wasn't easy, though. It was tough. So, but congratulations to you, man. Good luck.
Hey, man. Yeah, 40 days of it. I'm doing it for Lent. So if it goes well, then we'll continue it.
Okay. Cool. So, tell me, man, what do you think about tonight's game?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I watched the first half of it, and then I think I passed out because lack of any kind of caffeine. So I didn't see the second half, but I can imagine if it's anything like the first half, it just looked uninspiring. I mean, they didn't come out very, very strong. I mean, shooting was bad. Defense was all right at times, but I don't know. I think the Knicks' problem is sometimes they just don't come out with as much effort as they should. You would think against a really bad team, they would have made it look more effort. It just looked lethargic at times. I was just very uninspired for this game, and like I said, I think a lot of tankster wanksters probably were happy because this pretty much solidifies that number 1 pick. I don't see. I mean, we talked about the schedule, I think, last week. I don't see another income. I mean, we got playoff teams coming up and all that. I just don't see how we're gonna get another win unless some miraculous game happens. So I think it's pretty much solidifies the number 1 spot. And like I said, off the show, we got the tiebreaker now. If for any reason the Suns or the Knicks tie for that number 1 spot, we got the tiebreaker because we won the series. So that was big. If we would have split, I don't know how they would have figured it out.
You mean because we lost the series?
I'm sorry because we lost the series.
Because we lost the series.
Yeah.
Right. So the Knicks right now 13-52. The Phoenix Suns are 15-51. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 16-49. The Chicago Bulls are 19-47. I would say right now we are safely in the lead for that number. Well, not for the number 1 spot, but because obviously those top 3 teams all have a 14% chance of getting the number 1 spot. But of not dropping too low. So, we're safely there where we're not going to drop too low. Yeah. Let's put it like that.
Hey, I got a question for you. So I've seen a couple of Knicks games recently. What's going on with Dennis Smith? He doesn't look like the Dennis Smith of old. Like when he came on early to the scene, he was scoring at a high rate. He was aggressive. I feel like sometimes he just fades away from games. I mean, is that just me? I don't know. I don't know his line was tonight.
Maybe he is trying to listen. He got traded, right? Getting traded, and I've never been traded, so I can't really speak to the feeling. But I can only imagine that getting traded, it hurts you a little bit, and it will make you reevaluate your game, right? It'll make you reevaluate your game. It's kind of like if you're at a job and you work someplace and they move you to another position because they didn't feel that you were doing well or doing what they asked of you. You'll start to reevaluate yourself and say, okay, what do I need to do better? What do I need to get better at? And usually when you're at a job, you have some sort of a coach or a mentor. A lot of times it's your supervisor, maybe other people, and they may, you may have a plan, an employee plan or whatever that you need to work on, right? On how you're going to, a developmental plan on how you're going to become a better employee and how you're going to advance in your career. And you get moved, transferred someplace, you may take a hard look at yourself, so maybe he's trying to be more of that distributor or facilitator, I don't
it's
know.
Possible.
I don't know.
I just see, I've seen, like I said, I've seen the recent games of the Knicks. I've seen more Moutier outplaying him at times. And you know how I feel about Moutier. I'm not a Moutier fan. In fact, I actually want.
Dennis Smith Jr. led us in shot attempts tonight. He took 14 shots. He was 6 for 14 from the field. The next closest person was Damian Dotson, who took 12 shots. Dennis Smith Jr. also had 2 rebounds and 6 assists tonight, 3 turnovers as well.
Not a bad line.
So it could all be just part of his development as a young player.
Yeah. Do you think Ntilikina's gonna come back this season?
I hope so. LeBron James. It took LeBron James a while to come back from his groin injury.
Yeah.
I hope that he comes back because I do want to see him play next to Dennis Smith Jr. I also want to see him play with Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually hoping that. It's not going to happen, but I would love for the Knicks to bow out Moutier and let him go somewhere else, where he can maybe be either on a chance of being a future point guard for another team, or maybe even try to join a playoff team or somebody like that. I don't know if they can. I think that
ship has failed. I think ship has failed. Ship has sailed.
Okay.
I think that deadline's already passed.
Darn. Okay.
Yeah. They could still buy him out, but he wouldn't be able to get on to a playoff team.
Okay. Well, I would like them to do that. I think that I don't know if he's in the future of the Knicks. I think the reason why they kept Ntilikina, they didn't trade him past the deadline is because they still see a lot of potential in this guy, and then are ready to let him go. Yeah. And then you got Dennis Smith, and so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's my thought.
See, let me get around to a couple of the other guys. We got John G. John G, what's popping, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Sam?
I'm good.
Shout out to you. Shout out to the chat.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. We, the Knicks lost to the Phoenix Suns tonight. They actually started off with a lead, though. Right? We started off the first quarter with a lead. I think we jumped out maybe 15-6 or something like that. The first quarter. We weren't able to sustain it. We did end the first quarter up 22-16. And excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really tired. I had a long night and a long day today. I had a hearing I had to be at, and I didn't get out of there until like 8:30. It was just I'm sorry, not 8:30. I didn't get out of there. I didn't get out of the hearing. Well, yeah, like 8:30. I got out of the hearing like 8. Stopped at Arby's, grabbed something to eat. I didn't get home until like 9:15, something like that. It was just a long day, so I'm a little bit tired. So if I'm fumbling and bumbling over myself, that's the reason why. Anyway, the Knicks, they ended the first quarter up 22-16. So we had a good start to the game. We just couldn't sustain it, right? Then we lost. We lost the second quarter. We lost the third quarter we lost the second quarter by 8, third quarter by double digits. Devin Booker tonight had 41 points on us tonight.
God dang.
Yeah. So what's going on, John G?
Oh man, just chilling. Early in the morning over here in Iraq. Woke up a couple hours ago. Seen the halftime score. I thought we was in a game. Continue to do what I had to do. Check the score again, and next thing you know, I got an update that we lost. And from what I understand, Devin Booker went off, had a had an awesome game, and more shout out to him. I think he's still a up and promising star in the NBA, one of the prolific two guards in the league. But for all as you call tankster winkster, this is a good loss for them. But it's another competitive loss, like I said, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Devin Booker, he went 41. He had 41 points tonight. He's 14 for 23 from the field, shot 60%. He was 6 for 10 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He did have 5 turnovers, but if you're doing that much with the ball, he was cooking tonight. He was cooking tonight.
Yeah.
Devin Booker definitely put it out.
I'll take 5 turnovers and 41 points any day of the week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Any day. Any day of the week.
Shout out. I know this is a Knicks show, but shout out to LeBron James passing Michael Jordan for 4th on the NBA all-time scoring list.
Yeah. And you think he'll be around to claim that number 1 spot? You think he'll be able to do it?
Nope. From what I've seen, I think he has like 32,000, and from what I saw on TV, Kareem is number 1 with like 38 and change. So, not too sure how many points you could score in the season, but I think LeBron James is coming to the end of his career. That's why he went to LA on this contract, because after this he's done. So I think he's trying to give LA the last little bit that he got, bring hopefully another championship back to the Lakers. But
so
I'm not sure. 38,000 is a lot of points.
Yeah, that's about 6,000 more points that he needs, right? Somewhere around there. We don't have the exact numbers.
He's got to average like 20-something points a game.
Yeah, somewhere between 5 and 6,000.
Yeah, 5 and 6,000. Let's say it's 6,000. In order for him to get, he'd probably have to play. I don't know how many games he'd have to play and how many. He'd probably have to play 4 more seasons, right? I would say that he could do 4 more seasons. If he did 4 more seasons and he averaged 20 points a game, he might be able to get there. We'll see. See how it goes. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure he can average 20 points a game, but will he play 4 more seasons? How old is he now? 34?
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's 34.
He's already slowing down.
34?
I think he's 30. I think maybe 33 or 34. He could play 4 more seasons. We'll see.
Well, his contract's for 3.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. It's going to be close.
Yeah, I saw on TV.
It's going to be close, but the Knicks are officially the worst team in the league. John G. 13. They only got 13 wins. The Phoenix Suns now have 15 wins, so we are the worst of the worst.
Yeah, I actually seen that in this offseason that we would actually be the worst of the worst. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be a challenging year at that. So everything that happened within this year, I sort of kind of expected it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I didn't expect to be this bad, but I expected it to be bad nonetheless. Like I said, a couple of games ago when I called in, that losses, like at this point in time, I expect this one to be competitive losses to show some progression, to show some heart and show some fight for next year. And if we could come out and do those things, hey, I'm willing to accept the loss.
Yeah, I feel you. I hear you. I'm with you. Let me get to my other man here that's in the chat. My man, what's going on with you, my man?
I don't know if you remember me, but I was like, my name is Coles. I'm like, when you like first started this YouTube channel, like I used to comment on your
what up, Viv?
And stuff. What's up?
You said Coles?
Yeah, Coles Reddish.
I think I do. I don't know. It's been a while, but I appreciate you though.
I was like one of the first people to start watching this. I just never got on like the video chat.
Good. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you for jumping on, man. How you feel about the Knicks officially being the worst team in the NBA, losing to the Phoenix Suns tonight, and a win could be tough to come by. But listen, they surprised us we hit a little 2-game win streak, surprised us a little bit. So maybe, maybe
And then they
one
kind
or two.
of came back at the end too a little bit.
Yeah. So there might be a game somewhere in there that we can steal if everyone is clicking on all cylinders. It could happen. It could happen.
We're talented, low key talented.
Yeah. We do. We have some talent. It's just that we have inconsistent talent, right? We got a lot of inconsistent guys on the team, and it takes everyone to have the type of game where they're playing and clicking together, so that they can, play well. But I guess that's what happens when we got a team that's one of the youngest teams in the league. And if we're gonna lose, we might as well lose with young guys on the floor, and that's what's happening. So I'm with.
Thank you.
I'm with that.
My one thing, I think Kevin Knox. I think he's going to be a good player in the future. My one thing is when your shot is not going, like do something else. Like let me get some rebounds. Let me get some assists. That's my big problem with him. Like you're so good. You're 6'10". Get some boards because you're gonna have off nights. You feel me? You feel me? You're gonna have off nights. Got to do something else. And his defense.
Well, we looked a while back. We did when we did like I think it was the halfway mark of the season or whatever it was, or a quarter of the mark, and we did an evaluation of the team. And Kevin Knox was ranked in the league. He was like almost last in the league in defense when we did that. When we did that.
I believe it.
I really do hope that it's not signs for things to come. Kevin Knox, that he's never going to be a good defender. He obviously has the length and the size, and he should have the athletic ability to be a decent defender.
That's what I'm saying. He has it. He has the it. You feel me? He got the body for it. I don't get it.
It's going to be up to him to make himself a defender. Hopefully he can do that. Hopefully he can do it. It'd be bad. David Fizdale says that he wants to base this team on defense. When a couple weeks ago, we had a 2-game win streak, if you want to call that a win streak. We played a few games, and we were playing well. In February, we were like the top 10 in defense in the month of February. That's just the month of February.
That's true.
What'd you say?
Mitchell effect.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, definitely. Mitchell Robinson, the eraser. Yeah. He erases a lot of mistakes back there.
Yes.
But
Dennis Smith too. I like the effort. Dennis Smith has the ability to be a good defender. He's not as bad as we thought that he was going to be. I could say that. Yeah.
He's not as bad as we thought he was going to be on the defensive end. He has some lapses, and there are times when maybe you can see that he's not putting out the greatest of effort, but there are times when you see like against Sacramento, right? Because he had a challenge in front of him. He had De'Aaron Fox in front of him. So he was like, I need to play some defense tonight. He's got to be able to bring that mindset to every game.
Every game.
You know what I mean?
He got that dog, though. He got that dog. I like it.
Yeah, you got to be able to bring it to every game. Now, let me get to a phone call. I'm going to come back to the chat, all right? Call you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
How you doing, brother? It's JJ. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Just want to ask you a question. Say we don't get Durant, Kyrie, what is your plan B?
My plan B is not to spend it on players that we don't want. That's my plan B.
Exactly. That's what I'm scared of.
That's my plan B. Plan B. My plan B, if we don't get, and I'm looking at stuff that's going on with Kyrie in Boston and all that stuff, and it's starting to make me wonder, whether or not that same type of attitude is going to be brought to New York if he were to come to New York. That scares me a little bit.
Right.
I don't know everything that's happening in Boston, and maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not him. It just seems like it may not be him directly, right? Saying this or saying that or causing problems, but somewhere, somehow, some way, the two teams that he's been on, there's been drama surrounding him, I don't know if it's him
right.
or if it's other things.
I know that they won again tonight without him. He was out again. I think they're like 8-0 or something without him now. That worries me, man. Like, they're better without him. It's facts.
Well, that could be the makeup of their team, though. It could
I think the young guys, they get to do more when he's out, so probably more excited.
It could be the makeup of their team. That it could just be that. I mean, and look, Kyrie Irving is a heck of a player, a hell of a player, better than anyone that we have on our team right now. Clearly, but I don't know. Just got I guess we just got to see it. But I don't like whatever is happening in Boston with Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it's Kyrie. I don't know if it's just the chemistry of the team. I don't know.
I think it shows that he's not built to lead the young kids. I think he needs that veteran, more veteran stars with him. You know what I mean? I mean, Horford, Hayward, they used to be good. Hayward's not the same after that injury, but I just don't think he likes the young kids, like having the lead,
Well, if he were to come here with somebody like KD, then he wouldn't have.
Right, that's what he would need. Yeah, he needed another star with him.
He'd have
of
another
course.
guy with. He'd have a guy with him. But truth be told, KD, we don't know if KD is that kind of a leader either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, they could lean on each other, maybe, help each other. I'm just scared, man. They're going to miss on those guys, Durant, Kyrie, and just spend it on, Butler and Cousins. I don't want Stoudemire part 2. Don't just spend it just because you missed out on your main guys.
I don't think this regime is going to do that, though. I really don't. I
know they're not going to go for Cousins. I'm just saying, I'd rather not even spend it and just, keep the space for whenever there's a better class in a year or two,
Yeah, I think this regime is a little bit smarter than regimes that we had in the past.
Right. Feels like it.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the Knicks being the worst team in the league? You like it? You like it?
I mean,
you glad? I mean,
I like the force, man. Point, I love it.
At this point, I guess you can't do anything but be happy now because we're at the point in the season where.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I didn't want this, but now that it's here, of course, I don't want wins now. That's I mean, I know someone. I think it was Nate. He said something like, "Oh, that means we're getting the first pick." No, it doesn't, man. It doesn't mean we're getting the first pick. It's not football. We still gotta hope we get the odds in our favor. Ping pong. What I mean? The ball's in our favor. But what would you do if we got if we got like the third pick or four?
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about that.
So you would just keep if you don't get Kyrie, Durant, you would just keep the cap space, right? You agree?
I keep the cap space. I try to build up with these young kids and keep the cap space. That's what I would do.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear is that they just. I mean, I feel pretty confident with Perry, so I'm just nervous as a Knicks fan. They're gonna mess it up.
Yeah. That's definitely what I would do. We'll see what Scott Perry and Steve Mills do.
Yeah, because I know the worst record guarantees you top 5 at least. So at least we can't get, if we got like third pick, you can fall all the way to 7. So I don't want that. Right. So I'd rather have, guaranteed top 5, pick.
Right.
I think Cleveland, I think we have a 3-game lead from Cleveland. So we're in good shape for the top 2. I think Phoenix is like a game and a half better now. So we got a little breathing room. So, we just need some luck in the lotteries for once,
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll be, man. As long as we get Zion or Moran, Barrett, hopefully top 3 would be good. I wouldn't mind one of those point guards. Barrett could play the 1, the 2, the 3 base. I've seen him run some points, some 2, some 3. That's good. He can do run a few different positions for us if we got him.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're gonna take a look at it in a little bit. We're going to take a look.
I'll be listening, man. So, appreciate it, man.
Right,
appreciate the time, bro.
All right, peace. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks are officially the worst team in the league. We are 13 and 50, whatever. And Hey, some people like it, some people don't like it. It is what it is. It's here now. Let's go ahead and recap the game. Look at some of the stats. All right, the New York Knicks. Let's look at the matchup first. Like I said, we started the game out 22-16. I think we were up 15-6, up 15-6. Started the first quarter and finished the first quarter 22-16. Going to that third quarter, 33-25, and the Phoenix Suns started to take over. I mean, second quarter, 33-25, the Phoenix Suns started to take over. Third quarter, 32-17. Phoenix Suns took over. Then in the fourth quarter, the Knicks tried to make a little bit of a push, unsuccessfully, and we lost the game 107-96. Almost securing that, securing the worst record in the NBA for now. Almost securing that, wow. You can't even say the number one draft pick because they had the 14%, but almost securing that they're going to have the worst record in the league. There's a lot of games left to the league, but this is close. I mean, what can I say? The Knicks' biggest lead was 11. That was in the first quarter. The Phoenix Suns 22. The Knicks won the rebounding battle 46-31. DeAndre Jordan was back in the building. Assists, the Knicks only 17, 6 steals, 7 blocks, 21 turnovers for the Knicks. All right. The past few games, listen, we've been taking care of the ball all season long, but we've been starting to be a little bit loosey-goosey with the basketball. More turnovers than assists. 2-point guards out there that play, that get significant minutes. Emmanuel Mudiay, Dennis Smith Jr., 2 of them. 2-point guards. 17 assists. We shot 45.5% from the field, so you can't just blame the 17 assists on shooting because we shot okay. We shot 40% from 3, 6 for 15. We were 20 for 25 from the stripe. The Phoenix Suns was 17 for 22 from the stripe, 77%. They shot 41.4% from the three-point line, 12 for 29. They shot 29 threes. The Knicks only shot 15 threes. The Phoenix Suns also shot 48.1% from the field, 39 for 81. The Suns only had 31 rebounds. Only 31 rebounds. 21 assists, 11 steals, 9 blocks, only 13 turnovers. Those are the matchup numbers. Let's take a look at the box score numbers for the night for the New York Knicks. Not a lot to write home about for the Knicks. I was hoping that Zoe had a really good game since it was kind of a homecoming for Zoe. Wasn't a homecoming, but kind of, because he played at Arizona State. Kind of a homecoming for the kid. So I was hoping he had a big game like he had the night before or the game before. Kevin Knox playing underwhelming, for the longest time now. He has been. He's 7 points, 20% from the field, 2 rebounds, no assists, 1 steal. But like my man said in the chat, Kevin, you're not shooting the ball. That's okay. We can take that. We can deal with that. You're not shooting the ball. But you got to go and fight for some rebounds. You got a decent sized body to be 19 years old. Decent sized body for the NBA to be 19. You got length. You can rebound. You have the ability. You got to make up your mind to do it. That's it. You've got to make up your mind to go rebound the basketball. Fight for those boards. Make up your mind to do it. Noah Vonleh. It's a wonder that the Knicks won the rebounding battle. I guess, we had some rebounds from some other people and some, like Damian Dotson or whatever. But Noah Vonleh, supposed to be one of our rebounders, had Only 2 rebounds tonight. He had 15 points, 8 for 10 from the field for 80%. Again, like I said, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 block. DeAndre Jordan came back. Played 24 minutes. He had 17 points, 7 for 8 from the field. He had 14 rebounds. You better believe DeAndre Jordan knows how to rebound. He's going to rebound the ball. The double-double machine. Damian Dotson tonight, 15 points, 6 for 12 from the field, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Nice game put in by Damian Dotson. Dennis Smith Jr., not a bad game. 15 points, 42.9% from the field. Like to see the shooting a little bit better, but it's not horrible. 1 for 4 from the three-point line. He had 2 rebounds, 6 assists. He had 3 turnovers, 1 steal. Allonzo Trier, who, like I said, I wanted Allonzo Trier to really have a big game tonight. He played decent, right? Shot 3 for 9 from the field for 12 points, 1 for 3 from 3. Basically shot 33% overall. 5 for 6 from the free throw line. He was kicking himself the other day for missing some free throws. He made 5 of his 6 today. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers for Zoe. Emmanuel Mudiay played 18 minutes at 2 points. 1 rebound, 1 assist. 5 turnovers for Mudiay. Mitchell Robinson tonight, 22 minutes, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Had 4 blocks on the night. The Mitchell Robinson we like. Imagine what this kid's going to do when he's actually playing 35, 36 minutes a game. If he was playing that, his body may not be strong enough to handle it. Well, going down the stretch of the season, his body is strong enough to handle it, in my opinion. Going down the stretch of the season. We only got, 18, 19 games left, whatever it is. His body is strong enough. So, we can give him, I think you can give him 36 minutes a game. Whether or not he's starting doesn't matter to me. I think you can give him 35, 36 minutes a game now. Right? If it was the beginning of the season and you said he's going to play 36 minutes a night, his body would have wore out. It's not strong enough yet. Not going off of, not playing basketball for a whole year and then playing 36 minutes a game in the NBA. That wouldn't have been a good look. That would have been dumb. Right? I think now he can do it. I think he can do it now, and I'd like to see him do it. Let's see what kind of numbers he puts up when he's playing 36 minutes a game. See what he does. He can do it for the next 18 games. Lance Thomas played 14 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds. Let's take a look at the Phoenix side of things. All right? Take a look at the Phoenix side of things. And I see Mark said his per 36 is wild. Yeah, the thing is about per 36, what per 36 minutes doesn't calculate is, will a player continue to play at that rate for 36 minutes? You can have a player that comes in and gives you 8 minutes a game and they can put up some spectacular numbers. But at some point, some players, you're going to start to get diminishing returns. We don't know that about Mitchell Robinson yet. Right? I would assume that at some point you might start to get diminishing returns because he's so young and his body is not as strong as veteran NBA players and guys who's been in the league. But let's see what he does. I want to see what happens. Let's go for it. The Phoenix Suns. Kelly Oubre. And still, for the life of me, I do not know why the Washington Wizards traded Kelly Oubre. Stupid, in my opinion. I don't know what they're doing over there in Washington. I have no clue what they're doing in Washington. I live right here. I have no idea what's going on, what kind of moves they're making. Are they setting themselves up for the future, or are they still trying to win now? What are they going to do next year? John Wall's going to start getting $40 million a year pretty soon, and he's injury prone. Out for the, we already know he's out for the remainder of this season. Got Bradley Beal. They did make some moves to clear up some cap space, but they're still bogged down with cap. I don't know what the Wizards are doing. They traded Kelly Oubre. I think that was dumb. Bender played 18 minutes, no points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. DeAndre Ayton, another rookie, 10 points, 6 rebounds. You see DeAndre Ayton talking to Walt Clyde Frazier. Why? Because they're both signed with PUMA. That's why. Both signed with PUMA. So, you got the ambassador and the rookie chopping it up about the new PUMA that's going to come out. Devin Booker, we talked about Devin Booker, had 41 points. 14 for 23 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers, but I'll take it if you got 41 points on 61% shooting. 2 steals. Tyler Johnson played 29 minutes, had 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover. Kyle Bridges, somebody that the Knicks were looking at. He played 21 minutes. He had 5 points, 2 for 3 from the field, 1 for 2 from the 3-point line, no rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 3 steals. Josh Jackson had 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. Anthony Melton played 7 minutes, goose egg. Jamal Crawford. I hate it when I see some of these guys, man, that used to be premier prime players in the league. He was never really an all-star type of a guy, but I always liked Jamal Crawford. Even though he was kind of a playground type of player, I liked Jamal Crawford. Now you see these guys just getting a few minutes off the bench. It's nature and it's natural. It's going to happen. Yeah, 14 minutes tonight, 0 points. Yeah, goose eggs across the board except for 3 assists. I would like to see Jamal Crawford playing with a better team, though. He's coming down to the end of his career. I want to see you playing for a better team. Same thing with Vince Carter. But what I respect about these guys, though, is they're not ring chasing. Right? So I respect that about them. They're basically, they want to play ball. They love playing ball. So, they're hooping. I'd like to see both of them jump on with a championship contender before they retire. Vince Carter may be gone this year, though. Who knows? Rashawn Holmes had 10 points, 5 for 6 from the field, 83.3% field goal percentage. He also had 2 rebounds. Troy Daniels played 14 minutes, had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. That's just about as much as we need to talk about when it comes to the game tonight. Not much happening in that game tonight for the Knicks. I don't know if there's much to write home about with that game. I guess we did what we were supposed to do for a lot of people. We're back here with the video chat. I do want to find out from you guys what you think about and here it is. Who's Mark coming into the video chat to stir up some stuff. Jason Kidd, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Kidd met with a couple of Knicks point guards before the game. Right, Jason Kidd met with, who did he meet with? Emmanuel Mudiay and Dennis Smith Jr. I guess just giving them some veteran advice. Hopefully he's telling them don't drink and drive and all that kind of stuff. You know how Jason Kidd used to do. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's giving them that kind of advice. As well as how to be a point guard and what to do in the NBA and how to stay with it, stick with it. Look, Jason Kidd never really had to stick with it until the end of his career. Right? He was Jason Kidd from the beginning of his career. But during the end of his career, he was always the smartest guy on the floor. And I don't think that's anything that you can give to these guys. Jason Kidd just had it. Listen, I was at my freshman practice tryout the other day. You guys remember. And we had an 8th grader come out. As a matter of fact, the 8th grader that came out, his father coaches at the local college here. His father is also a coach of one of our AAU teams. Right? For those that don't know, I founded a youth a sports-based youth development program, and we run an AAU program out of it, right? It really is focused on, helping kids that do not have the resources that other kids have, but they love basketball, and because of their love of basketball, they want to try to get some shine. They want to try to get exposed. They want to try to play at another level. But some of these kids may not have the resources that other kids have to join AAU teams and things like that. So our program offers that same thing, but it's low cost to zero cost because we do a lot of fundraising. And but it's all about youth development, giving these kids some extra support on how to be young men, young women, how to make the right type of decisions, social, emotional growth, all that kind of stuff. Health and nutrition, education, stuff like that, right? But anyway, so the coach from he coaches our local college, local community college. He coaches one of our AAU teams, two of our AAU teams, as a matter of fact. He brought his son out to the 8th grade tryout, and his son was cooking in the 8th grade. Now, but not a lot of speed, right? He wasn't going to jump. He didn't jump super high. He's a point guard. But he was smart. And he was shifty. And he knew how to make the right play, when to make the right play. Right? He didn't have to be fast to try to blow past everybody. He could use his mind to get past you. Based off of timing. Right? Looking at your body position. He's just a smart player. You don't teach that. Some of that you don't teach. Players can increase their basketball IQ by playing, right? For most players, though, by the time they get to Jason Kidd's level, as far as understanding the game of basketball, they'll be retired. See, Jason Kidd was at that level when he came into the league. That's what makes some of these great players great. Their basketball IQ is so high, and they're at a level, their basketball IQ is at a level of greatness when they come into the league and at such a young age that most players, they don't get it until they're done and their bodies can't do it anymore. Now, all of a sudden, they know the game and they get it and they understand it. And the only thing they can say is, man, if I knew this when I was younger, right? Your great players have it already. So he can't really impart that on Moutier. He can't impart that on Dennis Smith Jr. He can only hope to give them some knowledge on how to get better, how to become a better point guard. And he can try to, Fizdale can ask him, to teach them guys what you did to get, to increase your knowledge, but they'll never have the kind of knowledge that Jason Kidd had. I really would have liked to see Jason Kidd speak to Frank Ntilikina, though. See, Emmanuel Moutier, Dennis Smith Jr., they don't play the kind of game that Jason Kidd played. They don't, not at all. The guy, and I'm not saying that Frank Ntilikina is Jason Kidd. All I'm talking about is style of play. Style of play. Jason Kidd was a pass-first type of guy. He understood the intangibles even late in his career. You've seen it when he was with the Knicks, right? Jason Kidd was the engine. Even though he had no speed, he could beat anybody off the dribble, but he didn't need to because he played the game up here, and he understood it better than everyone, right? And yes, he was a pass-first type of guy. He'd get his little 9 points and 8 assists, but he ran the floor. He was the catalyst. But he was never the explosive type, though. He was always the smart guy. So who fits that close? Who fits that more closely? That would be Frank Ntilikina. Not that he's going to be Jason Kidd, but I would have liked to have seen him talk to Frank Ntilikina. Obviously, Frankie wasn't there, available, still recovering from his groin injury. My question though, does it work? I guess it's obviously worth something to have, stars come in and talk to your players and all kind of stuff. But does it work? I don't know. I mean, it's got to be worth something. I'm gonna come to you, Nate. Since we got Mark in the chat, I'm gonna come to Mark, see what Mark thinks about it, and then I'll get to you. What's up, Mark? Hey, Mark, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's good with you? What's up with you, man?
Much, man.
You breaking up on me, bro. That internet is breaking up on me again.
Bro, my internet is...
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna come back to you. All right, Nate.
Need to get some better internet, Mark.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, man. I mean, as a young player, you always look at the great players. I mean, Jason Kidd's a Hall of Famer. He's won a championship. He brings a pedigree that these other players don't have. The problem I see in today's world, and this is just in general for anything, these young players don't want to listen to these players that have already experienced and been there. And they think they're so good that they'll figure it out along the way. And that's why you see a lot of these young players struggle early on, because they don't take that tutelage from these professionals. Because let's be honest, a lot of these young players, they're not professionals. I mean, they're playing in a professional league, but they're not professionals. They have played less than 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're truly a professional. I think you're still learning the game. You haven't arrived yet. You arrive around your 5th or 6th year, in my opinion. I don't know. But these guys are still young pups. They're still learning the game and all that. So I hope they listen to Jason Kidd. I mean, because Jason Kidd is one of the best premier pass-first point guards. And the problem I have with Moutier and Smith is that they're terrible passers. They don't pass the ball. They don't facilitate. They don't run the offense. They look to get theirs first, and then if they need to make a pass because they're getting double teamed or kicking it out, that in their minds that's an assist.
Now let me ask you this, and I'm gonna get to hear what some of these other guys think too.
Mm-hmm.
Having someone like Jason Kidd come in, or any player these guys are from another generation. Jason Kidd's from another generation, right? He grew up he grew up watching a different era of basketball. When you look at Jason Kidd is my age. So he grew up watching the 90s style of basketball, right?
Yeah.
And of course, he's one of the, players, the league changes and it evolves and it grows. And, players grow up watching one style of basketball and they inch it towards another style. Right? These guys grew up in the AAU era of basketball that is guard dominated. Right? That is really based on dribble penetration, dribble drive kick. Right? That's what Dennis Smith Jr., Emmanuel Moutier, that's what their game is predicated on. That's what they grew up doing. Jason Kidd grew up doing something different. As he was kicking David Fizdale's butt all over the court in high school, they grew up playing a different type of game. I'm sure there's stuff that they can impart on these young guys. Obviously, they've been professionals in this league. He's been a professional in the league. He was a professional in the league for a long time. So there's a lot of knowledge that he has there. But the way that he thinks about the game, to me, is fundamentally different than the way that Emmanuel Moutier, Dennis Smith Jr. think about this game. I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
No. And I agree with you. This is a different era. But the point guard, in my mind, whether it's today's era or the past, the point guard still look as the facilitator. They're still the ones that set up the offense. Like, it can be taught, but you have to start them young. Like I coach 9, 10, 11-year-olds, and I have the one that plays the point guard. I say, listen, I want you to run this offense. I want you to facilitate when needed, but also, too, if you have a chance or an opportunity to take the shot. I don't think those are hard qualities to teach somebody at a young age. The only problem is that these coaches nowadays, these players are so good, they don't want to rein them in. They want to just let them play their game and let them go, And then when it tries to rein them in, it's harder because they've done it for so long the same way that all of a sudden this total change is like, oh, what the heck, Like, look at Harden. Harden's a perfect example. Harden, in my mind, was never seen as a really big facilitator until he went to the Rockets. And then Tony goes like, listen, you can be one of the best scorers, but you're also going to facilitate the ball. Yeah. And he has.
Yeah, let me get around and see what other people think, man. John G. What's going on, man? Jason Kidd, talking to our young guys, talking to Emmanuel Mudiay, talking to Dennis Smith Jr. Their games are fundamentally different. I mean, I'm sure there's some things that he can impart, some great knowledge about the business they can impart about being a professional player. Will they take it from him, though? Because their games are so different. They don't do what he does. He doesn't play the game the way that they play it. Maybe Dennis Smith Jr. could be a little bit closer to, and not even, I don't know, not even Dennis Smith Jr. Neither one of them, I guess. I don't know. Their games are so fundamentally different. What do you think?
I think if you're a point guard in the league, you should always look up to the people who have came before you.
True. That's true.
As far as Mudiay goes, Mudiay is more of a ball dominant. I want to try and get mine before anybody else. Ever since Smith got traded, you can see him try to get more people involved. Oops to Mitch, passes out to Dot. He does kind of try and facilitate. What to learn from Kid is, hey, in certain situations, this is what you should look for. This person might come here. This person might do this. So if they do this, you do that. So it's not all about style. It's more about, like you were saying, IQ. IQ can always be taught. And that's how I feel.
Okay. I agree with you to a point that IQ can be taught. I still believe that there are some things that I'll say this. I'll say knowledge of the game can be taught, but there are some things that I think, especially as a point guard, you just kind of get.
Instinct.
Right? It's kind of instinctual. You just kind of get it. Because I've had players that I coached who, we sit and we watch film with them and we do certain things with them, but the way that they think about the game just doesn't match up sometimes with what I'm asking them to do. I've had some really good point guards that really know how to control the floor, control the team. They're not worried about their stats. They're not worried about, they're just heady, very heady, smart players that they know how to get theirs while letting everyone else get theirs. Then I had some people that played point guard that they didn't quite get it. They didn't, they thought because they penetrated to the basket and kicked it a couple times that they were running the offense, that they were facilitating, that they were actually getting everybody else involved in together and all those type of things that really make a team work. But they really weren't doing that. And they would get themselves in trouble because they thought that they could always penetrate and kick and do it, or penetrate and dish. And thought that, being a point guard meant you had to have the ball on your hand every time up the floor, and different things. Their mindset was just so different. And although we tried to teach them, it was their mindset. It was hard to get them to switch that mindset. So I think that you can teach someone knowledge of the game, but I think IQ is different. I think. I think that there's just like an intelligence that some people have that is not taught. It's hard to teach someone to see everything on the floor at one time. Some players I try to teach my players how to do. I try to do some drills for them to do it. I'll stop them in the middle of a play have them close their eyes and tell me where people are and what they're supposed to do next or what they might do next. Like that. Try to help them take a snapshot. But some players they just have that vision. They had the IQ to know what's going to happen next. They get it. They can see it before it happens. That right there, to me, can't be taught. But I agree with you. Every player must learn to respect who came before them, no matter what your style of play is. And I think that's probably a big part of him coming and talking to him. Yeah, I'm with you. Let me get my man down here, Cole. What's going on, man? What do you think? Jason Kidd a good look to come talk to the players? I can't hear you, my man. I don't know. Maybe you got us muted, but I can't hear you. I'll come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Let me see if Mark is ready now. Mark?
Yo.
Good? What's good, man? What's up with you?
Not much, but speaking of the IQ thing, that's something like instincts. IQ is about instincts. I don't think you can be taught that. It's more about a timing thing as a guard that you have for the game, and that's what
knowledge of the game.
That's what our point guards like. Their timing and passing the ball to spots where players would like to get it at, from fast breaks, from half court sets, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. With Jason Kidd, Jason Kidd is so good. He knew how to get his cerebral players, cerebral scorers into spots they like and position them right. And he just had the IQ of the game, knowing how to how to pass through defenses and et cetera. And I think like the point guards of today is very few that has IQ in this game. The game is more about dribble, drive, and pass. It's really about how Jason Kidd and them boys used to play. More about setting up the offense. Because when you watch our point guard, they don't set up the offense. They don't.
Right.
So it's more about dribble, kick, and drive.
Right, and that's what I was saying about him talking to our guys. Obviously, having a player like him come talk to the guys, there's value in it. But how much can they take from him on the basketball side? Being a professional, yeah.
The most Jason Kidd could do for them is, if he's watching them running scrimmage, is say, listen, if Kevin Knox is running the break, he's gonna go. He's gonna run to the far left three. So up ahead, when you see Kevin Knox, he's gonna run there. Even when you watch like how Steph and Clay run the floor, and then Steph know that when Clay is running the floor, he's gonna run straight to the three.
Right.
He's gonna run to the three. So that's where your IQ
how long
comes
have
into.
They been playing together? It takes time to build that chemistry.
Oh yeah, definitely it takes time to build that.
It does. But with our point guards, they ain't cerebral like that, because most of them is taught to dribble, drive, and kick. That's why when you see Moutier drive the ball, he looks to score. And if he doesn't get it on that double pump that he normally does, he will pass the ball out. And most of the time when you pass the ball out like that, our shooters aren't set up. They aren't set up. So that's why you see Dotson, when he gets the ball, he runs off the three-point line a lot.
And I agree with you about the whole dribble drive thing. And a lot of it, to me, has to do with AAU basketball. That's what a lot of AAU basketball is based on. Dribble drive. There's no
structure. There's no structure in these young guys anymore. That's why it's like that's why there's a lot of pick and rolls. It's a lot of pick and roll action. Back then, Jason Kidd and them boys didn't run much pick and roll. It's more about setting up the offense and putting players in position. So when you give the ball to the offensive guy, they can run plays through that offensive player to get the offense set up, so they can run their plays. Nowadays, it's just about dribble, kick and drive.
Yeah, that really is what it's about. It's all about kick and drive.
Why do you think Golden State don't run pick and roll? They could abuse that pick and roll, but they don't do that. They like to put players to make plays instead of running that pick and roll.
The pick and roll is great, but it also starts to limit you to using 2 to 3 players, especially when you do that every single time down
every
the floor,
single time.
right, it starts to limit you to only using 2 or 3 players on the floor. That's why
D'Antoni don't work in important games, because defense know they're going to run a pick and roll constantly. Watch Houston. Mm-hmm. That's all they do nonstop is run a pick and roll.
Yeah. I mean, now when you have great players, of course, that pick and roll is very hard to stop. You know, but
like the Durant and Curry pick and roll. I don't know why they don't use it, because that is the most devastating pick and roll I've seen in years. Mm-hmm. If they run it, they did it in the playoffs against Cleveland, and he just scorched them, but they don't run it.
Yeah, like with D'Antoni, Steve Nash, and Stoudemire back in the day. That joint was deadly. That was just deadly. And Steve Nash was able to just, he was just slice people. He would just find people. He was just amazing with the ball. He's a maestro with the basketball.
You know why?
That pick and roll was
He never stopped dribbling. That's what made him so good.
Yeah.
He never stopped dribbling. And as a point guard, when you don't stop dribbling, you are a weapon within yourself.
Yeah. That's the truth.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, it's not many point guards in this league that know how to set up an offense. And it's only about like 4 or 5 of them. Elite.
Yeah. I feel you there. All right, let's switch the conversation a little bit from Jason Kidd to a guard that has not, from a retired guard to a guard that hasn't touched the league yet. We're going to talk about Cam Reddish. All right, we're going to talk about Cam. If the Knicks drop down to the 3 spot, right now we're assuming that if the Knicks get the number 1 spot, they're going to take Zion. They get the number 2 spot, they'll probably take RJ Barrett. We talked about RJ Barrett in the last show.
Jesus Christ.
Right? A lot of people believe if the Knicks get that 3 spot, it could be John Morant. We're going to talk about John Morant too. But right now we're going to talk about Cam Reddish. All right. Before we even get into any kind of stats and stuff like that, I'm gonna go around you guys. Just give me some input. Mark, what do you think about him? How you feel about the kid?
Like I said, I watched him coming out of high school, and when he was going to Duke, he didn't know RJ and Zion was coming. They came after him. And in high school, he was a ball handler. But he was one of those ball handlers that didn't hold the ball for so long. It's like watching, how could I put it? He's so smooth with the ball that he makes the necessary pass when it's available. He's not a ball-dominant guard, forward guard. He's a forward guard. The reason why he looks horrible is because he's playing with a guard that is so ball dominant, bro. Listen, it's not that I don't like RJ. I just don't think he's a good fit for us and the players that we have. He's a good player if he has a point guard that can set him up in positions for him to go get a bucket. Other than that, I don't want him to be the primarily ball handler, because he will put you into a black hole for your offense. But I think Cam Reddish and the funny thing, Sim, he wasn't a good shooter coming out of high school. So when he came to college and he became one of the top shooters in college, that surprised me even more and made me love him even more. But the fact that he's not a ball handler for Duke, because they have the point guard there already, and they have RJ. So he's not going to have that role. He's not going to have that role as a primary ball handler. So his ability is going to be limited. You're not going to see his full potential. But his skill set, I think he has a better skill set than those two, to me, because he could shoot the basketball better than those two.
Can he shoot it?
No, Sim, if you go watch his games in high school before he came,
I know. Go ahead.
He's having a bad stretch, but before the bad stretch, he was one of the best shooters in the nation, bro. Like he's the best shooter on that team. He's having a bad stretch, but he's one of the best shooters in college, bro. and he was not a shooter coming into college. So that's what surprised me and made me even love his potential even more compared to RJ. To me, when I watch RJ, I think his play can. To me, he remind me of left-hand DeRozan. I don't think he's going to be a all-star. He'll make an all-star team, but I don't think he's going to be an all-star guy. I think he's going to be good enough. He's going to be good enough in the NBA. Okay. But like the potential that people think that he's going to be, I don't see it like that.
See, I'm looking at him. I think he's going to be a J.R. Smith type of guy in the NBA.
He's fierce. He's fierce.
I think
like he's going to
be, I think he's going to be a J.R. Smith.
Sin, when I watch it,
we'll see. I mean, that's what I see right now. That's what I see right now with him. All right, that's what I see. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the J.R. Smith comparison. I personally think this guy, he kind of reminds me of a young Kawhi Leonard. If you watched him from San Diego State,
I don't know.
I mean, he's a better shooter than Kawhi in college. His defense is really good. I don't think people talk about as good as defense is. And he's about the same size as Kawhi, too. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Kawhi Leonard in the NBA. I'm just saying he kind of reminds me of a young Kawhi Leonard because I watched Kawhi Leonard at San Diego State. I see some comparisons, too.
He's a – all right. Well, let's talk about what he's doing this season right now. Right now,
he's wilding.
He averaged 14 points a game, 3.7 rebounds per game, 2.1 assists per game. He shoots 36% from the field. He's shooting 33.3% from three. Now, that's college three. Now, he can't, but we do know that he can get hot and light it up, right? And he can pull it and knock it down from just about anywhere. And, he's a freshman? Right? So once he gets into the NBA, obviously he has a chance for that to, he has a chance to become a really good shooter as he works on his game and, takes it to the next level as he works on his game over the summer, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. When I watch him play, I see, he pulls up a lot of threes. Right?
Bad shots.
He will launch from anywhere, almost any time.
Black hole.
That's where I liken him to a J.R. Smith, a Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying?
He's erratic.
He's erratic. That's how we describe those guys, right? That's how we describe those guys. Erratic. Those guys are erratic type of players. Now, it doesn't mean that's going to be him for his whole career. That's what I see right now. We'll see if, he changes that coming in, going into his, as he becomes a professional. Cole.
Yeah, I think. Go.
What do you think, Cole?
You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
I think he reminds me of the guy from the Nuggets, Beasley.
Michael Beasley?
Yeah,
point guard.
No, not Michael Beasley.
I'm saying, not Michael Beasley. Beasley, the shooter for the Nuggets.
I talking about that Beasley guy.
Yeah.
Shooting, kind of plays defense, stuff like that. But I think he's good though. I feel like he's a better fit for us. Like RJ and Zion, I feel like they won't really fit with our team. Truthfully, like Mark hit it on the head.
I feel like Zion. See, we talked about RJ the other day, and I can definitely see where, especially if he's out there with like Kyrie and KD, I can see where
he has to be with better players.
Issue, right? I can see where that could. He would have to be with better players so he can take a secondary or a third role. Now, if he's out there with Dennis Smith Jr. and those guys, that could be something. If he's on the floor with Dennis Smith Jr. and Damian Dotson. We
Reddish?
see. No, talking about RJ Barrett. We'd see, but I definitely see he's a ball dominant type of a guy. ball dominant.
Sim,
type of a guard,
you know what he is? You know what he is? He can't be with young players, or else he feels like he's the man that has to take those erratic shots.
He's the man.
You can't have a player like that come in like that with younger players. He has to be surrounded by mature players that's going to tell him, don't take that shot, because he's going to pull it.
I agree with you there.
And when what balance out Duke, Zion, when you watch him, his game is just so like it is so mature. It's like so mature when he's out there.
Now Zion, bringing in Zion, I think, if we were to draft Zion and we didn't trade for Anthony Davis and we kept Zion, I think it would work out very well. I do.
No, it would work out either way because he's a hard worker.
Right. If you get KD and Kyrie, it's gonna work. If you don't, I think it's gonna work.
And two, I'm having a feeling about those two too, Sim. When we get to them two,
we'll talk about.
I'm kind of.
I know. Me too. I'm having some. Yeah, me too. So let's.
But I think KD's doing something. You think he's slick, but I see through it though. But we're gonna keep talking about RJ.
Yeah, Cam. We're talking about Cam. We on Cam.
Okay.
All right. So Cam Reddish right now looking at NBADraft.net. All right, we'll just go over a few things from NBADraft.net. Cameron Reddish, shooting guard / small forward, freshman, 6'7", 215 pounds, 6'7", 6'8", 215 pounds from Norristown, Pennsylvania. NBA comparison, people, in here says Rudy Gay. Compare him to Rudy Gay.
Oh.
Athleticism.
Do you guys know the Beasley I'm talking about, though? Like, are you guys talking about the right Beasley? The Beasley, the guy that shoots.
I don't see Rudy. I don't see nothing.
Hold on, guys. Let me finish this up. All right. Athleticism. NBADraft.net gives him a 9 for athleticism, a 9 for size. Defense, they give him an 8. Strength, an 8. Quickness, an 8. Leadership, 7. Jump shot, 7. I agree. NBA ready, 7. Ball handling, 7. Potential, 8. Passing, 9. To what you were saying about him being a ball handler in high school, and intangibles 7. So they give him a 94 overall. And like I said, their comparison is Rudy Gay. I disagree with that comparison.
No, that's not a comparison. That is not a comparison because Rudy Gay was a scorer.
Yeah, I disagree with that comparison. Weaknesses. Let's look at some of his weaknesses. We know what his strengths are.
His weight.
They say didn't always bring it with competitiveness and energy. Went through the motions, but has picked it up in the past year. Tends to settle too often for outside shots. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. More of a streaky shooter than a knockdown shooter right now, and that's where I look at him being the J.R. Smith, Tim Hardaway type of guy because he's streaky and he pulls a lot of outside shots.
But I don't think he's erratic though.
I don't know. He can improve upon his consistency and efficiency. Shot 40.3% from the floor over the Nike EYBL. Had a few forgettable 3-point shooting performances over the Nike EYBL. Right? Over 6 versus the California Supreme. 1 for 8 through the Houston Hoops. 1 for 8 versus the Howard Pulley. 0 for 5 versus the Spice Indy Heat. 1 for 8 versus All Ohio Red. Those All Ohio teams. Those teams are good, man. They're
defensively.
Real good. The All Ohio Red. Those teams are really good.
They will lock your ass up.
Yeah, he shot 28.6% from 3 over the EYBL season. So this is before he came to Duke. Listen, that's been. His outlook, obviously he was a Duke commit, high upside, one of the top talents in the 2018 high school class. He's one of the top talents coming out of college. All right. That's Cam Reddish for you, folks.
I feel it.
Go ahead.
I think Fizz could just. I think if we drafted him, right? If we don't get KD and Kyrie, and you went with him at 3, and once he comes here, I think if Fizz see him with his ball handling, his IQ, and his passing ability, and put him at that starting point guard or that forward, put the ball in his hand, I think he could squeeze that out of him because he has it. When you watch him before, he has the passing ability. He has it.
So you think he might be one of those guys that he comes out of college with a reputation as a streaky shooter, this and that, but if he falls in the right situation, he
has to fall in the right situation.
The rest of his game could come out.
I think he's going to take time, but I will take him at 6'8" with the passing ability before I take RJ with the shooting ability.
Okay.
The passing is something more valuable than the shooting. Okay. It's just more valuable.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, just my thoughts on Cam. A lot of people got to remember that Cam is playing on a team with 2 alpha dogs. I mean, RJ Barrett's an alpha dog and Zion Williams an alpha dog.
Yeah.
So Cam's playing third fiddle to it. Now, the thing is, what I would like to see happen, and I know it's not going to happen, but I would like him to really think about it. I would like him to stay at Duke one more year because RJ and Zion are both going to go to the draft. Cam is projected somewhere around top 5, maybe 6 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he stayed at Duke, he would be the focal point of that team next year, and he could raise his stock to possibly a top 3 or top 2 pick.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
because he hasn't really. It's hard to give him a good grade on him because when you watch Duke, you watch Zion and you watch RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Nobody really talks about Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm thinking that if he stayed at Duke, he would be the focal point next year for Coach K, and he could really raise his draft stock possibly to a top 3 and go to the team that he feels that, can, I don't know, maybe fit his need or something like that.
That's a good point. Let's take a look at what Cam would look like on the floor. I know you guys in the video chat probably don't have anything.
I could watch the screen. I'm watching your screen, so I'll see it.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to just take a look at how, the possibilities and how it may look if Cam Reddish was drafted by the New York Knicks. So right now we got Cam on the floor, right, at the 3 spot. I'm putting him at the 3 spot. All right. You got Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1 spot. Now this right now is assuming that we don't get KD, we don't get Kyrie. We're just going with the young dudes. All right, so you got Dennis Smith Jr., you got Cam Reddish. At the 2 spot, you got Damian Dotson. All right. At the 4, and see, this is always a problem for me, and right now I'm putting him at the 4 with this lineup, but it's a problem for me because I don't think he's ready to play the 4 spot in the NBA. But Kevin Knox, and then at the 5, Mitchell Robinson. So this is a super young lineup.
Oof.
Right, you got Dennis Smith Jr. at the point guard spot, me Dotson at the 2, Cam Reddish at the 3. Mitchell Robinson at the 5, Kevin Knox at the 4. Right now, this is a young lineup. Now, let's be honest. Even though, let's just say we didn't get KD and Kyrie or whomever else that might come to the Knicks. Let's say we didn't get them. We struck out in free agency. They're still going to use that money somewhere, somehow. It may not be long-term contracts. It may just be a contract that's for 1 year. Right, but they'll pull in some other players that may end up being, at some of these spots. But right now, this is what we look at, and this is who we would have. Okay, coming off the bench, who would we have on the bench? Right. I mean, you got you got Frank, you got Zoe,
Trier,
right?
Damn,
Who else you got? Young, super young. Luke. You got Luke coming off the bench.
Vonleh.
Well, Vonleh may not be here. We don't know.
Kadeem Allen.
Right? We don't know if Vonleh is here.
Where's Hazonia?
Right? Hazonia may not be here. Right? So the guys that we're looking at right now that's on the floor, all these guys we know. So right now we have on the floor, we got Dennis Smith Jr., you got Damian Dotson, Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson. If Cam Reddish is drafted, he's going to be signed for 3 years or whatever it is. Right? And then you got Trier, who, he has I guess he has an option. The team has an option. You got Frank, who's going to be on the team, and I think Luke has another year, maybe, or something. I don't know. Right? All these other guys, though, when you talk about Von Lay, when you talk about some of these other guys there, we don't know yet. All right.
What about John Jenkins?
John Jenkins, yes, John Jenkins, and I don't have his picture up here, but I'll make sure I get his picture. John Jenkins, as a matter of fact, this is what I'll do. I will take and get John Jenkins.
I'll keep Ellison.
Right. Ellison has a team option. So let's go. Let's put John Jenkins.
Kadeem is two-way.
We're just going to put his initials up here. Right.
I'll bring back Dean.
What you say?
I'll bring back Dean.
Kadeem is two-way.
Who? Kadeem.
Yeah, okay, he's steady.
John Jenkins. And then we're going to do Henry Ellison, possibly. Right? Because he has the same, similar type of contract.
We need size. They'll bring him back.
Right. So, we got these guys up here that can be part of the bench as well. And, no disrespect to these guys. We'll get some pictures up here anyway. All right. We'll get some pictures up there soon enough. All right. Now, we can play around with these lineups. Like, I see someone in the chat said, let's put Frank at the 1 instead of Dennis Smith Jr. And a lot of people are going to look and say, how come no Moutier? Because I don't think Moutier is going to be here. My opinion.
Man, do you see his do you see his money?
Right, I don't think Moutier is going to be here, so that's why I don't have Moutier up there. Okay, so now you got Frank there, right? You got Frank at the point guard spot, Damian Dotson at the 2. I tell you what, this could be a pretty good defensive lineup right here. They'd be young, they're super young, but they can play some defense.
Knox at the 4.
Right now, you got Knox. You got Knox at the 4. I mean, who else would we put at the 4 with the lineup with the group that we have here?
True.
Yo, it's to a point. I'll start Frank instead of Dennis Smith.
Ellington.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. I mean, you could do this. I don't think that if it came down to this, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I think that Fizdale is going to start Dennis Smith Jr. because of what he can do offensively.
More offense.
That's just my opinion. Right.
You're right.
Now, if you didn't like Kevin Knox here at the 4, maybe come, not summer camp, but training camp. Maybe Henry Ellison comes through. Right? Maybe you got Henry Ellison there. Let's move him and put him there. Right?
I look at this.
And you got to stretch 4 there.
I said KP could have been in this lineup.
You're right. He could have been. You're right. He could have been in the lineup. I mean, obviously, there's a hole at that 4 spot, right? But you see how lineups could move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This is how lineups could move around a little bit.
Because Cam could go to the 1 easily. He could go to the 1. Guys, 2. He's going to be a 2 because he's.
Hey, Sim, what if we brought back DeAndre Jordan?
See, I'm thinking that if we don't sign KD and we don't sign Kyrie, that DeAndre Jordan is going to move on. That's what I think.
But what if we re-sign him and play Mitch at the 4? Could that work?
I don't think that works. Because neither one of those guys can stretch the floor. You got to have someone that can at least be a threat from the outside. Neither one of those guys can do it.
But we'd be great at protecting the rim.
Hey, that's true. I see people looking saying we'd have another 20-win season. We probably would.
Back in the tank.
If this is gonna be our lineup, if this would be our lineup for next year coming into the season. Now we know it won't be because you're going to get somebody. You're gonna sign some people, right? But
Kyrie's coming.
That would be another 20-win team. It would be. All right. So let's take these guys off the board. Let's look at a couple of different options. All right. We're going to bring these guys off the board and look at some other options. Let's say that we do sign KD. Now we got KD. And for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say unless we, sign somebody in free agency, KD is going to be that stretch four for us. KD is going to be able to play any position on the floor. It doesn't really matter where you put him. Right?
Yeah, if KD comes in, it's going to be turned upside down.
Buckets.
Yeah. And then you got Kyrie. All right. Now you got Kyrie. Now, you got these two. We drafted Cam Reddish. Right? How do we fill out this lineup? And I'm going to switch. I'm going to take and switch Kyrie around because his jersey. Well, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave it there. All right. Now, let's get Cam Reddish on the floor. Where are we putting him at? We putting him at the 3? We putting him at the 2?
Maybe the bench.
I'm at the 3, I guess.
Cool.
Put him, Cam Reddish. We're assuming that we drafted Cam Reddish.
I'm starting him.
I know. Are you starting him at
the 2?
You starting him at the 2?
Yeah.
Okay, you starting him at the 2. All right. Who's starting at the 3?
Knox.
Yeah, Knox.
Or Damian Dotson?
Now, I'll put Knox just because of the length, and he could shoot.
Okay, all right. I mean, Damian Dotson could shoot 2. You can put Cam at the 3 and Damian Dotson at the 2.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with the 6'8".
I don't think Cam's a 2.
All right, so then let's go with Knox. We'll go with Knox at the 3. And if this lineup is out there, DeAndre Jordan is on the team, in my opinion. Right?
Facts.
Okay, so now we're looking at this lineup here. You got DeAndre Jordan at the center spot, KD at the 4, Kyrie at the 1, Cam Reddish at the 2, Kevin Knox at the 3. And you're definitely long, right? Because Kyrie is what, 6'3", 6'4". Cam Reddish is 6'7", 6'8". Kevin Knox is 6'9", maybe could be 6'10" at this point.
That
next,
could work.
Coming into next season. Then you got KD, who, whatever size he is, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, whatever you want to call him. And then you got DeAndre Jordan, who's 7 foot. That could be a tough lineup. And then you got, that could be a tough lineup, right? You got some young guys out there. You got your vets, and you got some young guys out there.
6'8".
I don't see Dennis Smith playing off the bench.
Right. And then, speaking of Dennis Smith, now you got Dennis Smith. Now you got Dennis Smith Jr. on the bench.
1-2.
So let's look at this is what our bench could look like. You got Dennis Smith. You got Dennis Smith Jr. off the bench. You got Damian Dotson, right? That can slide him from behind Cam Reddish, right? That can come in and play that shooting guard spot, right? Still young. Now we can pull Frank in, who can play the 3.
Yeah.
Right? Frank can play that 3 spot. Now we just gotta find ourselves. We got Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
Yeah, no size, all guards.
You said no size, all guards?
Yeah.
And now let's not forget about Trier. We got Trier. See, this would be the thing here. Who comes in and gets the playing time, because you also got Allonzo Trier.
I forgot about this.
Right? And then you still got Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. Right, so he can go right here. You got 1, 2. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we got a lot of guards. We have no 4. Right, so now you're either gonna play small, where you got Frank kind of playing that 4 spot, which is gonna be very small unless the other team is playing small. Right. You do have Luke Cornett. Right, so you can either go small or you can go big, depending on what the other team is doing, because you got Luke.
He is booty eyes.
Right, but I'll say this: even with this squad here, Kyrie, DeAndre, KD, they're gonna need a couple more vets.
Yeah, they're gonna need some of those and get. I keep forgetting we got paid.
We got Kyrie.
Yeah, you're gonna need a couple more vets.
People gotta go. Sadly.
You know, so,
we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have. So that's something we don't have to worry more about. Just trying to lead you guys. But hey, if we don't, then it's gonna be another 2 years developing to 2021.
So now let's looking at who's on the floor. Let's just look at some lineups. Let's just move some stuff around and look at some lineups that's out here, because there's so many different lineups that you can throw on the floor, right? If you got Kyrie out here, right? You can take and move Cam to the 3, Knox off the bench, Damian Dotson at the 2. You had that. Maybe
and you know what's so funny?
A better defensive lineup here. It's probably a better defensive lineup. And not only is that a better defensive lineup, I think it helped. Honestly, I think this helps your bench. Now your bench has a little bit more structure to it. If you took and you had Kyrie at the 1, Damian Dotson at the 2, Reddish at the 3, and Reddish and Damian Dotson can interchange. And then you got DeAndre Jordan at the 5, KD at the 4. Right? Now you can take and have Dennis Smith Jr. at the 1. Right? Trier, you can take Trier and move Trier to the 2, Frank to the 3, Knox to the 4 off the bench, and Mitchell Robinson to the 5. That adds to me a little bit more structure to your offense coming off the bench.
Why I like Cam, he's so versatile. If he goes to the bench, give him 6 minutes to let him run the team.
What about if you put Frank at the 1 and Kyrie at the 2?
Or other way around.
Other way around.
That's not going to happen.
You would have Frank at the 2 and Kyrie at the 1.
Because Frank ain't...
I'd rather Frank at the 1. I think Kyrie plays better off the ball.
No, Kyrie needs the...
Milton's defense is better than Kyrie's.
Kyrie needs the ball, though.
That's why you want Frank. He could play defense. Just like...
Right.
Kyrie right now.
I mean,
you want to have a defender behind Kyrie.
You know, there are a million different lineups that you can put on the floor. I mean, you could take, let's say, Dotson out of the lineup and put Frank, if you wanted to put Frank in at the 2. And now you got Kyrie, you got Frank at the 2, you got Cam Reddish at the 3. I don't know if this makes you that much better defensively, though, because Damian Dotson, maybe Frank is a little bit better than Dotson. It makes you a little bit longer because Frank is 6'6", close to 6'7", with Cam Reddish being 6'7", close to 6'8". So, it makes you a little bit longer.
You know what, too? You're not putting into thing. I think when Kyrie and Kevin Durant comes somewhat, they're going to command these guys to play a certain level of defense.
That's true.
Another thing.
It's also possible Cam could come off the bench, too.
Because when they come in here to the top. Those 2 boys are here to reach the top. They ain't coming here. They're going to teach these kids. They're going to where they have to play harder. The thing about the young kids that we have, they're going to be able to play a position. They just play hard.
Yeah. Nah, I get you.
And once Fitz get that super, he can set the tone. He can set that tone. Have a superstar and you can set the tone for the team. So it's gonna be a whole different team if these there.
Yeah. Now I feel you. I feel a lot of different things you can do with that lineup. We'll see how it's gonna work out. The next player that we're gonna look at is Ja Morant. Not tonight, but that's the next player that we're gonna look at. Mark, you were saying that you had some concerns about Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, that whole scenario. Give it to me, man. What's your concerns?
You're crazy. It's not. It's a good thing because I think they're gonna shake stuff up to make things look bad. So when it's time for them,
you're breaking up.
Things are already bad because because I'm watching Kevin Durant even. Per se, last night when Steve Kerr said to play with a little more toughness, and Kevin Durant took that out of context where don't we play with joy? You can play play with joy and toughness at the same time. Last night, when you watch Golden State, they play so soft, like with zero resistance. And Steve Kerr said it when he said we didn't play with enough toughness, and then Kevin Durant said, "Don't we play with enough? Don't we play with joy?" He's sarcastic in a way where he's trying to make the team bad, but it's not supposed to be.
I tell you what, Mark. I don't know if you got a couple things going on. Like if you're streaming and then you're also talking, but it's breaking up. It's breaking up.
Yeah, becoming robotic.
It's breaking up.
No, you know what I'm doing? What? You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we'll see if it's gonna break up.
You know what it is? Because I have this tab open, so like when I'm in the other tab, that's what kind of mess up the connection. But I'm in a pair in now.
Okay, yeah, that's better. So go ahead and say what you were saying. Go ahead and say what you were saying. It's better now.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is using a method, like what I see, he's using a method to make things like go a little sour. So when his time comes for free agency, not say blame all that stuff on the organization, but it kind of gives him a little like leeway to leave without like everything being good. So he's trying to cause a little corruption into the organization a little bit. I'm not saying that he's doing that, because last night it was kind of weird after the game because the Golden State didn't play with enough intensity. And when Steve Kerr came on the podium and said we didn't play with enough toughness, Kevin Durant came and said, "Don't we play with joy?" Why are you being so sarcastic? Like, why did you take that out of context?
So what you're saying? All right. So what you're saying is that Kevin Durant is kind of, he's sabotaging. He's sabotaging stuff, right? He's sabotaging things and setting it up so that when it comes time to free agency,
he kind of have like a reason to go.
Yeah, he got a reason to go. Kind of sabotaging, self-sabotaging. I don't know if you want to say self-sabotaging, but sabotaging it.
Yeah, sabotaging. Because that's what I seen last night. Because if you seen Golden State play last night, they didn't play with no type of defensive effort, nothing. It was just bland. So when Steve Kerr came out and said we didn't play with enough toughness, that is the right thing to say, because playing defense is playing with toughness. So why would Kevin Durant come and say, "Don't we play with joy?" Bro, why are you being sarcastic? I take that as sarcasm. Because you're blowing it out of water. Okay. You could have said, we didn't play with enough toughness because y'all didn't play any defense last night.
Okay.
5 for 16.
What about KD? I mean, Kyrie. What's going on with Kyrie? What's going on with that over there?
He's kind of hard to figure. He's kind of hard to figure out because he's one of those overly smart guys. It's kind of hard to read him. He's just so moody in a way, but I think he's causing a little friction, so it could make it easier for him to leave. Because I don't think Danny Ainge want to throw him $200 million. I don't think Danny Ainge want to throw that type of money at him.
Okay.
That's how I feel. I don't think he's going to throw 200 at him. Because that AD situation is kind of murky for them.
Right. Now.
So that's the whole other dynamic. But KD think he's slick. I see it. I see it because what do you have to complain about when you're playing in one of the best offensive NBA history? You gotten the most wide open shots, the most in your career.
True.
And you're winning. So why are you miserable? Why are you miserable?
Yeah. Now, Chris Broussard said that KD and Kyrie are rethinking the New York thing.
That's another thing because I watched the Clippers last night and I say, you just insert 2 stars, dude, and they're a finals team.
Dude, the Clippers are the biggest threat to the Knicks for anybody because they're gonna have enough money to sign 2 people, and they're a decent team right now.
Bro, they got Jerry West.
Yeah.
And when he's in your organization, you better beware because he's in the back counting down right now. But when I watched Clippers the other night, bro, the quality of players that they have and how fearless they are and how tough they are, bro, you just plug in someone like KD and Kyrie. Oh Lord, they're a finals team. They're like a finals team, bro.
Sweet Lou.
And I know KD, Kyrie watching them because they're in the playoffs playing hard.
Right now,
so I've been having that. I've been overthinking the last 2 days. When I seen that game, I was like, oh shit.
Right now, the Los Angeles Clippers, 37-29. They've won the last 3. They got rid of their best player, and they're still in the playoff hunt. As a matter of fact, they're 4 games above the Sacramento Kings. And they will have the possibility. Now, I don't know what the entire what the landscape looks like as far as their salary cap is concerned.
They got a lot of money.
Yeah, but
Bro,
but I don't know who they have to. I know that, they'll have a chance to have like $75 million as well. I don't know if they have to release certain players' cap holds or whatever. Haven't really looked at it. I mean, we'll maybe dig into that. But
I know Gallo's one of them. I know Gallo has to go.
37-29, and they'll probably be in the playoffs, and they'll have a chance to sign some players this summer.
Like right now, Sim, they would have 55. They would have 55. If the season ended today, they would have 55. So that means they would have to get rid of like one more player off that team. But they have 55 in free salary cap.
Right.
But I'm stressed out, man.
They're going to be a threat. They are going to be a threat. And they're doing it with, they're
doing it the right way, man.
Look, they got Patrick Beverly, Wilson Chandler, Angel Delgado, Danilo Gallinari, Shai Alexander,
Shane Gilgeous,
Jermichael
Danilo,
Montrezl Harrell, Luke Mbamute, Jonathan
Williams,
Jerome Robinson, Landry Shamet, Garrett Temple.
Yo, they got
Lou Williams. They got pieces that fit together.
Sam, all those players have significant roles when you watch them. Yeah. And they're just missing a bomb star.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. The Clippers are going to they're going to be players. That's without a doubt. The Clippers are going to be players in that free agency.
Son, if we get burnt, if we get burnt, this is gonna hurt, yo. I'm gonna be.
We're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna be all right.
I can't describe.
We're gonna be all right. Don't stress.
I'm not stressing, but those 2 crybabies over there, they are really making me mad.
Who you talking about?
Kevin Durant and Kyrie, man. They've been just crying too much lately. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
shut up.
We're gonna see what's gonna happen with them guys.
But you know what I said? I said, listen, if it don't happen for us, you know what? Let's just go all on in raising this young talent. I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
But damn, what I would love to see Porzingis with these young talent. Jesus Christ!
Don't even talk about it.
Listen, that's not happening. That's not happening. We gotta prepare for the future.
It's over now.
It's not happening. We gotta prepare for the future. So the Knicks are coming back home. All right, they 0-4 on the West Coast. Okay, they went 0-3 on the West Coast. They lost to the Clippers. They lost to the Sacramento Kings, and then tonight lost to the Phoenix Suns. So we are now coming back home. Who do we play? We play the Los Angeles Clippers on. When do we play them? Friday?
That's our next game?
I think we play the Kings.
Wait a minute. Our next game is, the Sacramento Kings. Our next game is the Sacramento Kings at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, the Kings just lost to a game with about Gordon Hayward, so they're going to come out and try to thump us.
Yeah. I you know what? The Knicks played well versus the Kings.
They did.
I like the way that Dennis Smith Jr. played versus the Kings. I like his tenacity on defense because he's playing against kind of a rival in De'Aaron Fox. I love his tenacity the tenacity that he showed on defense. You know what I mean? And I'm looking for a repeat performance by Dennis Smith Jr. versus the Sacramento Kings.
And you know why I like when they go against young teams like that? Because you get to see them play with more pace that I would like for them to play on a regular occasion.
Right.
And the Kings force you, like they force you to run up and down the court.
Their pace. They ran us
So I
outside.
would love to see that again.
Yeah, the Kings, they push the ball, they get the ball up the floor. Now, they didn't outshoot us as far as shot attempts the last game. We had, I think, 2 more shot attempts than them. I think it was like 84 to 81. But the speed at which they get the ball up the floor is amazing, and it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shooters too.
Yeah, and they got some guys that can put the ball in the hole. You know, Buddy Hield, De'Aaron Fox.
They make you pay on transition. Like, they make you pay, man.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the game, though.
Yeah, I want to look forward to because I want to see the Knicks play with more pace. I think we're just better with pace, man.
You know what? The thing with the Knicks is we just don't know what we're doing. As far as
but you see, like even if we don't know what we're doing, when you play with pace, it make your game a little more kind of easier to play though, because remember you're just running up and making plays. Because if you're in a half court offense, it's more about thinking. You want to take that off of them from time to time. You just want them to go out there and just push the pace. That's what you want young players to do.
Yeah.
Because when you watch Knox and you put him in a half-court set, he looks horrible compared to when he's more running and gunning, and he's a little more active on offense.
Right. But, you know,
it opened up more threes, just open up the floor a little more for our guys because they're young. So that's why you want to play. You want to play with a pace with these guys. You got Mitch running down the court. You catch it with an alley. So many things that you could do running the pace with the young guys that we have.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Kyrie and Mitch.
Right. I agree with you, Mark. It's just that we're not playing with that kind of pace right now.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know.
We're not playing with that kind of pace. We're just not playing with that kind of pace right now.
And a lot of times the team defenses put us in half court set. Like that's what happens a lot with us. A lot of the teams put us in a half court set.
The key is this. What I don't see that we do, and I try to teach this to my players all the time: get the ball out the net and let's go. Right? You don't have to dribble it up. Get the ball out the net, push it up the sideline to somebody streaking up the sideline. We get the ball out the net and commence to walking up the floor.
Yeah, and you know what too, Sim? Even that too, like when we get the ball, right? When Dennis Smith come up, he has to immediately get the ball out of his hand so everybody can touch the ball.
Right.
We have to let everybody touch the ball because once he has the ball in his hand, it's just a pick and roll and just trying to find somebody. No, lose that ball out of his hands.
Right.
Lose the ball.
And we don't need it's not just Dennis Smith Jr. with Trier too. Sometimes,
with Trier too.
We dribble too much. I always have a rule. Once we get into the half court set, the point guard advances the ball. We get into the half court set. Once you get the ball, if you haven't gotten to the cup in 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles at the most, give up the rock. You know what I'm saying? I don't need guys.
I was watching Trier. The thing is, he's making
good thing.
Like he's going with a purpose now. When you watch him now, it's not like old Trier. Like he's going with a purpose now. Most of the time when he has the ball.
Yeah. But I agree, man. I don't want our guys running up the floor. We're coming up the floor and then we're stuck dribbling around. It kills me too.
It just makes me hate the point guard play so much when I see it every time.
Yeah, I feel you. So the New York Knicks schedule coming up. We got Sacramento Saturday at 12 noon. Then we hit a stretch, man. We hit a stretch. If we don't beat Sacramento on Saturday, I'm telling you.
That's a matinee game. We always lose on matinee games.
I hate those matinee games, man. The matinee games are terrible. Historically have always been terrible for the Knicks.
And the funny thing, it's cold.
It's cold.
on, who want to get up for matinee?
Nobody wants to play basketball 12 o'clock.
I mean, that's true. No, that's true. You know, I mean, these guys are just coming from probably partying or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And now they got to come out here and play a game. But anyway, the Knicks' schedule over the next few weeks is it's tough. It's a tough schedule. We play Sacramento Saturday. We play Minnesota. They're not the best team, but still, they're a tough team. They're better than us. We play Minnesota.
Cat been on a roll.
Right. We played Minnesota in Minnesota. So we play one game at home, then we go back out on the road. I really don't understand why. Look, okay, we're in California. We played the Clippers. We played Sacramento. We played Phoenix. I don't understand why are we flying all the way back home to play Sacramento and then going back out. Why don't we just work our way across the country? We're in Phoenix, right? Fly to Minnesota, play Minnesota, or, I mean, fix this. Just who does these schedules? You could have played Phoenix.
The NBA think they slick.
Look, they could have played Phoenix. From Phoenix, flew to San Antonio instead of going all the way back home, coming back to New York to go to Sacramento. They could have played Phoenix, right? The next game flew to San Antonio, then flew to Minnesota, then Indiana, then came back home to play whomever, right? Instead, we're in Phoenix. We're going to fly all the way home to play Sacramento, then fly back out to Minnesota, then go to Indiana, then from Indiana go back across over to the West Coast, close to the West Coast, to play San Antonio, right? And then we're home for a little stretch. Actually, no, we come home for a game. We play the Lakers. Then we fly to Toronto.
We could beat them.
Right, and then we play Utah at home, Denver at home, the Clippers at home, Toronto at home, and Miami at home. So
yeah, those 5 games right there.
Yeah,
we could beat the Lakers.
Regardless of the fight in the schedule, the way the schedule is set up, we got Sacramento at home, Minnesota away, Indiana away, San Antonio away, the Lakers at home, Toronto away, Utah at home, Denver at home, the Clippers at home, Toronto at home, and Miami at home. That last 2 weeks of March, I mean, coming up.
One game.
I mean, look, Sacramento.
We're in a gauntlet.
Look, Sacramento is fighting for a playoff spot. Minnesota, I forgot what the record is. They're not really fighting that. They're not really in the mix that much. Indiana's fighting for a spot. San Antonio's fighting for a spot. The Lakers, I don't know if they're really fighting for a spot, but, Toronto, they're fighting for position. Utah's fighting for position. Denver's fighting for position. The Clippers holding on to the 8th spot. So they're fighting for their position. Toronto's fighting for position again. And then Miami is Miami. But they're always going to be a tough defensive team. It's brutal. It is brutal.
Jesus,
this
man.
month. So we might be looking at another streak. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
We can get that Lakers game.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 games left to the season. How many wins do you see in this 17 games? You know what? They surprised us a few times. I'm going to say we snatched 2 or 3 of these games out of the next 17.
Facts.
Who are we beating, Sim?
2 or 3. Who are we beating? Maybe we might beat Sacramento. We could beat Sacramento.
We could.
Maybe.
Right? We could beat Sacramento. We might be able to beat the Lakers.
No, we could beat the Lakers. I'm giving that for a W.
Right.
LeBron has packed it up. LeBron packed it up.
And then in April, we play Chicago twice in April.
Oh.
Chicago looking great, Sam.
Right.
Chicago beat Philadelphia tonight.
I mean, we play Washington. Washington is,
We could beat them. We could beat them, Sim. We could beat them. We can beat them. They're horrible.
I'm gonna say we grab about 3 of these wins somewhere. I say we grab 3 of them.
Because that West Coast trip, that's a gauntlet.
Hopefully,
But listen. If we only grab 3, what's the worst record in Knicks history?
I think 17.
17. We might only be at 16 this year.
Sim, what I told y'all before the season started, we might not even crack 20.
We might only be at 16.
I remember you saying that too, bro. I
remember when somebody said we're gonna win 28 games. 28 where?
Hey, you know what?
Boy, you better go find a ditch.
Listen, I still believe that we had the ability to win about 28 games. We had the talent to do it. We could have done it. You know what I'm saying?
Made a lot of trades.
You know, I feel like the structure wasn't in place in the beginning of the season. Of course there was movement, and you know, Fizdale. If they really wanted to, I feel like if they really wanted to, we did have enough players that they really wanted to. But you know, Fizdale was, you know, fooling around with lineups and all kinds of stuff. I've never seen any true consistency come into play. So, you know, I mean, but
you know,
the idea from the beginning was to play around with the rosters, develop players and stuff like that. So, you know,
did develop.
You know, so, you know, hey, did a good job there. We got to say that. Mitch Robinson, Allonzo Trier, did a good job there.
Dot in some cases.
Dotson in some cases. Yeah, we did a good job there. You know, we did a good job finding guys out the G League. So now we got to see what we can.
You know, Black Wall Street making moves in the industry. You know,
making moves.
We did our thing. You know, we did our thing. We did what we could have. We did what we could. Put it like that with this young talent.
So, all right, man, let's take it out, man, because it's late. It's 2:22 a.m. I got to get up at 7:30 so I can take my daughter to school.
Man.
I didn't go to sleep last night until 5 o'clock in the morning. Had to get up at 9 o'clock so I can, man, I had to run around and I had to provide written testimony for a hearing that you know, for a law that's getting ready to drop in the state of Maryland that concerns education. So I had to provide some written testimony, so I had to run around. I had to get that printed up. Then the place was an hour away, so I had to get there. Then I had to stay there until 8 o'clock at night listening to testimony.
Sam, you know you're gonna have to do it because the hours that you work, you're gonna have to teach your body to learn how to take naps. Because that's what I did in the past years.
I do.
Yeah,
I take naps.
Yeah, you gotta.
I do.
Yeah, you gotta teach your body to take naps. Trust me, it works.
I took a nap before I got on here. Trust me, I did. Yeah, but still,
let me tell you something. I'll be mad restless after a nap, though. The nap be feeling much better.
Naps into something different.
I'm probably not gonna get to sleep until 3:30, 4 o'clock still, because I haven't had
not when you got work.
I haven't had a chance to just wind down and chill yet. You know what I mean? So now when I get off of here, I'm gonna just wind down. I'm gonna chill for a minute. You know, watch something on the television, and then go to sleep and get up at 7:30. But then after I drop my daughter off at school, then I'll go back to sleep. I'll go back to sleep and rest a little bit. I got practice tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7:30.
Sin, that's how you know 9 to 5 is a scam, because guess what? You have to wake up 2 hours prior to the time you have to work, and then when you get off work, you in traffic for another hour, maybe 2, depending on which city you live in. That is a whole 10-day, 12-day hour.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I don't work at 9 to 5.
Yo,
that's why I got
America society, man, they really know how to control people.
That's why
we stupid.
That's why I don't care about that's why I don't work at 9 to 5, man.
Not me either, bro. It's a scam.
I tell you what, for all the people that's out there, when you learn to look at yourself as a business, and when you work for somebody instead of looking at yourself as an employee, you see them as your client. Things will change. Things will change quickly, because now you look at them as a client, and now you say, you know what? I am a business.
That's why you're not mad at what you do, Sam.
Things start to change. That's the way I am. I have clients that I work for. I have clients that I do things for, and I have a bunch of clients, and sometimes it runs me around all over the place. But My schedule is my schedule. I don't work a 9 to 5, and it's
But
beautiful.
you know what?
It's
You know
a
what?
beautiful thing.
You know what? You know what too is that you get to run around instead of being in a booth all day. There's a big difference when you have like freedom within your work, other than being at a place for 8 hours.
That's right. That's right. But you know what? People got to do what they got to do, man. They got to do what
people got to do what you got to do. But sometimes
take care of yourself and take care of your family. Do what you got to do. You know, but,
sometimes, man, sometimes life is about risks, man. If you got an opportunity to do what you really want to do, just you know the thing is, this thing that I didn't want to do, but bro, sometimes you got to force yourself and deal with it in the moment, and then later on in life, it'll add up. You know what I mean? Just like when you start a business, you don't spend your money for the first couple of years, and then you start seeing your rewards and stuff like that.
I hear you, man.
It's all about sacrifice.
Yeah, we about to get up out of here, man. It's 2:30 in the morning. We about to get up out. I appreciate you guys for jumping on me. Saturday, the Knicks play Sacramento Saturday at 12. It's a matinee game, 12 p.m. Right?
You getting on?
Bro, I just want the season over. We bleeding slow.
I will catch you guys after the game. So we're looking at about 12:30. All right. I mean, I'm sorry, about 2:30. I catch you guys after the game. We'll have a nice talk about the game. We'll talk about, we'll talk about some more draft picks. We'll start looking at Ja Morant. Nate, you want to give us your last words, man?
Sorry. No, man, I mean, like I said, the future's bright. We pretty much guaranteed ourselves a top 3 pick in this draft, so we just got to see where the chips are going to fall. I think if we get a guy like Zion or RJ Barrett, I think we're going to be pretty good because both of those players, you ever heard that cliche, square peg in a round hole? Both those players fit that mold for us. All right. I'm not sure about Ja Morant. I'm sure we'll probably talk about the next broadcast with him.
Sound like a tech.
I mean, hopefully we can land one of those 2 dudes because I think our team will be a lot better with those 2 guys.
Okay. Cole?
That's it.
What you got? Some last words.
One thing. People's main thing they like to say is Kevin Durant and Kyrie, when they come, they're not going to be able to handle the media. And that's maybe not true, but I mean, it probably is true, but they're walking out of their bed. It's an automatic 20 every time. I just want to see what else are we going to put around them. You feel me? Who's going to come off the bench for them? I feel like they're going to be fine on the court. That's what I just.
All right. Cool. Mark, you want to take us out of here?
And listen, man, tonight was a good night. I love you guys. Listen, man, I just want the season over because the anxiety that I have right now, it's very high because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm hoping for the best for us. But, it is what it is, man. Knicks fan for life.
No doubt. All right, man.
Knicks fan for life, man.
Ace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we about to get up out of here. It is 2:29 a.m. I'm out. Remember, I'll catch y'all Saturday. Couple days. We got a couple, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. We got a 2-day break. I'll catch you guys Saturdays. The Knicks fly home. Knicks versus Sacramento Kings. I'm hoping we can get us a win. We only got about 3 of them this, over the life of the remainder of the season. Let's see if we can get one against Sacramento. All right. I'm heading out of here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Get a notification anytime that I go live. All right. If you ring that notification bell. Share. Make sure you share Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Anything that you got, share it there. All right. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. Remember what I said, though. Look at yourself as a business. You are a business. Remember that. You are a business. Don't see yourself as an employee. See yourself as a business. And watch how much freedom opens up for you in your career. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch y'all Saturday.